Alright, so let's add some windows and a lally column to this. I believe we might need a lally column right here to support a beam here if we decide to put our framing this way. If we frame this a little differently, we might not need a beam there, but just to show you how to do it, we're going to add one. So I'm going to put a column to support that beam, so that would be a structural column. And this time it would be the pipe column. And we'll put that right here for now. So let's see where that landed. That went to base level first floor, offset of 9 feet. So I want to make that an offset of -4'8". And then top level shouldn't be first floor, should be first floor, and then with a -14.25 inches, so that it ends up being the same height as our foundation wall. And in order to see this a little bit better, let's go to a 3D view. I'm going to right click on that 3D view, duplicate it, and then rename that duplicate and call that foundation doll for dollhouse view. Then over here I'm going to associate this view with one of the a plan view of foundation. So if you right click on that kind of Saturn ring around the navigation cube, you get orient to view plans, and I'm going to pick foundation. And then if I tilt this, I can see what I'm doing. I can see, where that pier is and so on. So that's what we want it to look like, so we can see how we're making out here. So below the pier should be a footing or a pad. So I'm going to go back to that foundation view so I can see it from plan and put in the pad. So there's an isolated pad here. And we don't have one, so we're going to have to go get one. So if we go under Structure, Foundations, there should be a footing rectangular that we can bring in. And then I want to edit the type, duplicate it, and I want to call this 24 by 24 by 12 inch. And we'll change the width to 24 inches. We'll change the length to 24 inches, and we'll change the depth to 12 inches. That footing should be centered right on the pier. And this is going to be a warning. We'll tell you that none of the related elements are visible in view. That's okay. I think I can change that. Let's first of all go to the 3D view and see what it looks like. So see that pier or that footing isn't there. So we got to find out where it is. So let's go to that 3D doll view. Where did it go? Maybe it didn't put it actually in there. So let me try it again here. So I want to place that isolated pad, and oh, maybe it placed it in the first floor. So let's go to the 3D view, and I want to, there it is. It's at the top of it instead. So I've got two things selected. I want just the structural foundations, and I want to put that not at first floor but at -4'8". Now it should be in the right place. I think anyway. Where did it go? Let's go to our dollhouse view. There it is. Right, so why isn't that in the right place? Oh, because the top of it maybe is at -4'8". So this should be at, let me see if I can use an align tool. So I want to align the floor with the top of the footing. That's what we want. And it looks like I might not have the pier in the right place too now that I think of it. So let me see what I did wrong with my math here. Looks like it's right for the top of it, but it's not extending down far enough. So let me go to a section view. So go to our section view. We don't see the pier in the section, so I want to flip the direction the section is being taken in. Maybe it's that section view I want to see. And now I can see the pier. There it is beyond. Now that pier is showing up as a single line because of our detail level. I'm going to change it to medium, and then we'll see the thickness of the pier. And what I want to do is make up the difference here. So trying to figure out what I did wrong. So let me hit annotate, hit the top of the wall here, and find out how far I actually need that pier to go. 4'7¼ feet. So this is attached, oh I see, it's attached to first floor. This should be attached to not first floor but foundation, -4'8". And top level should be first floor with negative. Let's see if that works. There we go. So that makes sense. All right, so now we've got the pier at the right, or the column rather, at the right height. We've got the foundation pad underneath that. So let's go back to that foundation, and I want that to show up as a hidden line. So I'd right click on it, override graphics in view by element, and we can change the projection lines to hidden. Oop, that doesn't look like it's the same pattern, so I want to make sure I'm using the same pattern. Maybe I want hidden quarter or hidden 3/8. Let's try 3/16. It's a little bit closer to what we have here. These lines on the outside should also be hidden, so I'm going to select this one footing, right click and choose select all instances visible in view, and we're going to do the same thing. I want to change override graphics and have the projection lines for that be the hidden 3/16 rather. There, so now we're seeing hidden lines on both the inside and the outside, and we're ready to add our windows. So I'm going to go to Architecture, Windows, and I'm going to see if we have some awning windows that we could use the width of 36 or 30 and a height of 16. So I'm going to select 3624, edit type, duplicate it, change it to 30 inches by 16 inches, and change the height to 16 inches, change the width to 2'6", and pop those windows into the walls. Okay, it might be that we have the windows at the wrong height. So let's see, we have a sill height of 3 feet. Let's try, a head height of 4'4". Let's try a sill height. Oh, and this is on the foundation, and the foundation's up pretty high. So let's try a sill height of -2 feet. And see if they'll go in. There they go. All right, and we're going to adjust them afterwards. So let's put one window there, and I'm going to copy 3 more here, and then we'll take all those windows and mirror them to the other side. If you use the other mirror tool. And I think that's enough windows. So if I want to see where those windows are, I go to the 3D view and I see where they are. I really would like those windows to be aligned with the top of the foundation wall. So if I select one of these windows and find out what the sill and the head height are, let me grab one window and move it down. And then I'll use the Align tool and align the top of the wall with the top of the window. And then I'll select the window and find out what the head height is. So the sill height is at -2'9". So that's, I want to select all the other windows and set them all to -2'9". And that should set all the windows to the right height. And then we're ready to go ahead and create our dimensions for that foundation. So let's add our dimensions, going from the outside of the wall to the center of the windows. So I'm going to get rid of that one, and then we want an overall dimension. If we line these windows up and we use the Align tool, then you don't actually have to dimension the windows on the other side. I don't mind this. I think maybe I just even this out. So let's call that 7'10". And yeah, that's fine. And we would edit witness line and get rid of this one. Oops, try that again. Can't hit escape. You got to hit off to the side. And then we'll add dimensions in this direction. So I want to annotate with dimensions from here to here to here and here. And then we do that again for overall dimensions. And that should do it for our exterior dimensions. I do need to locate this column. Now what would actually happen is there would be a double rim joist here that would be doubled up, so it could act as a column to support these floor joists. So I actually want this placed so it's 1.5 inches in from the edge of this foundation wall. So I'm going to make sure that that's located where it's supposed to be by putting in a dimension from the foundation wall to the center of the pier. Then I'm going to select the center of the pier and the footing at the same time. It looks like I got to select just the center of the pier first and change that to 1.5 inches. Then I can move this, or align it rather, so that the center of the pier is aligned with the center of the pad, and we can lock it. So that's fine to do that as a dimension. And then I want to show a center line or a dimension to the center of this pier. So we'd go to annotate, go to the outside edge of the foundation wall to the center of the pier, and show that that pier is located right in the center. We would also add a note indicating our slab thickness, so 4-inch concrete slab, smooth, level is a typical note. We would call out our lally column, 4-inch lally column, and then hit enter and say width. You can do W slash 24-inch by 24-inch by 12-inch pad. And that's a good call out for that. And then instead of using, you can use tags here for these, and those can be incorporated within the window tags that we have in the annotation part of the project. Or if you weren't tagging things and you were just identifying window sizes by annotating them, we could add a note to indicate that these are all 30, 16 awning windows, typical. And that pretty much takes care of what we need to see foundation wise. So let's look at our foundation plan. So that's been replaced with our foundation, and then in the next video I'll show you how to update this detail. A lot of the notes are going to stay the same up here, but we've got to change our information that we have for the foundation, and we've got to get rid of all this undisturbed earth that we're seeing on the inside of the foundation wall.